Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm Janu, a product marketer with Zoho CRM, and I'd like to welcome you all to the third webinar of the PhoneBridge series. Let me quickly explain a bit about Zoho PhoneBridge before proceeding. PhoneBridge is the only platform by which cloud telephony providers can integrate with and become a part of the Zoho suite of products. Right now, we have partnered with over 40 providers around the world to bring their services to Zoho users. These services include making calls from within Zoho applications, automatic call logging, contextual pop-ups during an incoming call, viewing call reports, etc. Today, we have collaborated with one of our telephony partners, Zadarma, to bring this webinar to you. You'll now hear from Keenan, and he'll take you through the crucial business benefits of integrating telephony with your CRM. So over to you, Keenan.
Well, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to it. Oh, figures my computer doesn't want to work now. Oh, there we go. I'm Keenan, I'm CEO of Sales Guy. I'm going to break down why telephony matters being connected to your CRM, right? For years, it was, whether it was a VoIP phone or your cell phone, or it didn't really matter. You had your phone call, you put it down, you punched the stuff into the CRM, and that worked just fine. And for many people, it still may work just fine, but it's not optimal, right? It's not the best way to go about it. So I want to talk to you about why integrating your telephony with your CRM is optimal and is going to allow you to drive more revenue and, more importantly, get control of the sale and get in control of the sales environment, right? So guys, in the end, it's the data. It's the data, stupid. It's all about the data. What can we learn from a call? What can we learn by having the call and the conversations connected to our CRM for easy access, for easy retrieval, for easy engagement and getting the information back and going through the information? So that's the first piece, it's the data. The more data that we can capture and put into the CRM, the more powerful and valuable the CRM is, and therefore the more actions you can take and the more strategy you can build and the greater value you can get out of the two tools. So like anything else, integration should provide sum is greater than the parts advantages, and that's data is half of that equation, right? So I want to throw a couple numbers at you. Beyond the data, there is the ability to provide value in coaching to salespeople. In other words, create an environment that allows you to get more out of your salespeople than they're getting out of themselves. So here are these numbers. 82% of sales leaders, managers, coaches, whatever you want to call them, 82% say that they coach their salespeople, right? So this comes from a survey that we did at a Sales Guy. We just dropped this survey about a month and a half ago. We surveyed 1,000 salespeople, sales leaders, and individual contributors all the way up to the CRO. And when you asked all those in a sales management position, 82% said, yeah, I coach my salespeople. But here's the crazy number. That 48%, what do you think that number is? That 48% is the number of individual contributors who actually said they want to be coached. Sorry. That is the number of people who said they are actually coached. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Only 48% of salespeople, when asked, are you formally coached, said they were. Yet, 82% of the sales leaders said, yeah, we coach our salespeople. Look at that gap. That is absolutely astronomical. So whatever it is that the sales leaders are doing, it is not perceived as coaching. I'm sure, in hindsight, I wish I'd asked this question and on the survey and dug a little deeper if I had known this was going to come out, because I didn't anticipate this at all. Because if coaches think they're coaching, but salespeople don't think they're coaching, then what do they think they're doing? Like, where's the disconnect? What do salespeople think their coaches are doing if they're not coaching? So it's fascinating. But here's another number, 66%. That's the number of salespeople who say they want to be coached. So over half of all salespeople say they want to be coached. So where am I going with all this? I'm going is that coaching matters. And connecting your CRM to your telephony gives you that opportunity to coach. It gives you the opportunity to hear what salespeople are saying and what's going on, and they want it. And they want it bad. Let me go a step further for you. So check this out. This comes from the survey. Does coaching make a difference? In 2017, when it came to coaching, when coached, 57.7% of people achieved their quota, which is 7.2% higher than people who weren't coached. Now, if you look at the exceed section, when coached, 23.3% of people exceeded quota, only 22.4% exceeded when not coached. That's not a huge difference. The difference is in the miss. The difference is getting those underperformers up, not taking average performers and turning them into brilliant performers, getting the people who are doing a good job at quota and blowing them up into exceed quota. It's about getting those people who are struggling from missing quota to quota, and that's substantial, right? That's 8% increase in taking your lower performers and people missing quota and moving them up. So imagine how the impact that would have on your sales organization if you were actually able to move people from 80% of the people missing quota, you could move them up into the achieved quota section or the level. That's substantial. This is absolutely substantial. Depending on how much the people are missing quota, that could turn out to be, depending on the size of your organization, millions, if not tens of millions of dollars a year, simply through coaching, which integration between your CRM and telephony gives you greater opportunity to do that. Gives you much greater opportunity to that. And it also makes it more efficient. So it's all about coaching, in my opinion, but it goes further than that. It's coaching and beyond, I like to say, right? So I want to talk about a bunch of things here now. I want you to think about this. If you've got a sales team that does discoveries, an inbound sales team or an outbound sales team, it doesn't really matter. If you have a sales team that is talking to customers on the phone, and part of that process is discovery, then recording your calls and being able to have those automatically placed into the CRM gives sales managers the ability to understand what is the salesperson doing on that discovery call. It allows them to listen and say, hey, are we finding the right problem? It allows them to understand how the salesperson is moving the call through. It allows the manager and people to determine, do we have a solid understanding of what it is the customer is looking to achieve? Why did they want to talk to us in the first place? How did we set up the meeting? What types of questions does the salesperson ask? It allows us to go really, really deep. And look, what I love about this is back in the day, not even back in the day, if we're really real about it. I work with clients all the time, and theirs isn't connected. I recommend it all the time. I said, look, you guys got to get a call recording system where you've got to integrate some sort of telephony with your CRM so we can capture this stuff and manage your team. Because what happens is the salesperson has the call, they get off the call, and they put it in the CRM. And I can tell you how little they put in the CRM. How little information is there, how little information we know what's going on. We have no clue how the call really went, except the salesperson saying, it went well. It went okay. The client sounded interested. They asked us to do this. They asked us to do that. But you're only getting what the salesperson remembers, scribbly notes that they may have written down their piece of paper. You're not getting the whole call. You really can't understand the depths of the call. And that makes it difficult to sell. How does that affect you? Think about this. It affects the deal strategy. So if the salesperson isn't really good at retaining or taking notes, and they put this information into the CRM and they go back, a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later to make another call to follow up, and they can't make heads or tails of it, or they haven't got the most important parts, how's their deal strategy going to be crafted? How are they going to craft the deal strategy to win the deal if the data behind the deal isn't solid? If it can't be recalled, if it was recalled poorly, if all the notes weren't put in the CRM correctly. So now you're almost back to ground zero with really no information, no data to drive the deal strategy. Right? So now you've hamstrung yourself. By integrating your telephony with the CRM, that's there. So you and the sales manager, sales leader, people in other departments, how about this? The sales engineers, they can all sit and listen to what happened on that call. You can coach the salesperson on the types of questions they asked. You can coach the salesperson on how they handled a transition. You can coach the salesperson on how they set up the next call. You can coach the salesperson how they responded to a customer's objection, how they responded to the customer's tone. You have it all. You have far more layers of data. And when I talk about layers of data, I reference the customer tone. We can't capture that through the CRM if a salesperson listens, turns around, and makes notes. We can't capture that. We have to take them for their words. Suppose they have a horrible EQ. So there are multiple layers to data that we want to capture. One is the obvious, like the very specific details, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but also other layers like the customer tone, the emotion on the phone, the flow. All of those are different layers of data that we can use to help us drive deal strategy, to help us set up next steps, to help us understand the strength of the opportunity, the probability of close, but we can't capture that in notes. It's impossible to capture that in notes, right? How many times have you sat and listened to a salesperson go on and on about the product, and the customer, you as the sales manager or sales leader can hear the customer getting frustrated or irritated, and the salesperson misses it entirely, right? Now you don't have to sit on every call with every single salesperson. You can come back and listen, and you can capture that. What about specifics, right? It's easy. Salespeople should be listening for the customer's problem issues. They should be listening for what we call here around here the current state and trying to uncover the full current state. They should be trying to uncover the full future state, trying to identify the gap, where the customer wants to go, the impact to their organization. Like, they should be really listening. But the very specific, minute details, it's hard to capture all that and then turn around and take that and put it into the CRM. This allows that to be captured. So look, you still take notes after a call. But boy, once you hang up and then know that this call has been automatically populated in the CRM, that all of the notes are there and everything, now you can compare and contrast. Did we catch everything? Let's go back and listen to the call. Some seems to be missing. What did the customer say? I thought they said something about, XYZ. Oh, let's go back and listen. It's right there, attached to the record, ready to roll, right? How about next steps, right? A lot of times we forget next steps. We don't handle next steps well. This allows us to go back and check that. It allows us to make sure we're there, make sure everybody's on the same page. How about commitments? The ability to make commitments and stick to them and stick to the time frames and know what they were. I mean, one of my favorite things about it is going back in, listening again, and being able to quote customers. So I'm sending the follow-up email, and the customer isn't getting back to me, and they've gone dark. And now I have the ability to be like, hey, you said, or during our conversation, and then I can quote them. Boop, boop. I can literally take their quote right out and put it into my email to them and quote them, right? So it creates a level of accuracy, and it's all right there. That's the best part. It's all right there. And let's forget about all the efficiency pieces. I mean, look, the fact that there are some systems where it'll do this, but you got to actually take the file and upload it, and it's hard to find, and that's a mess. The integration is all for you. It's seamless. It's simple. When a salesperson wants to make a call, they press a button, up comes the application, they make the call, it records it, everything's done there. Look, salespeople don't like to move around. Salespeople are lazy. So our ability to make their job easier and more efficient and get them working out of the CRM in totality is huge. It's critical. So it goes beyond just data, right? It's about the data, but it's also about efficiency and effectiveness. It's about supporting salespeople, supporting your sales organization with a tool and the integration of a set of tools that makes their job easier, that provides the level of information they need, that gives them the information to be coached, and then gives the leadership the ability to actually leverage the data to make them better. Leverage the data to get them to the next step. That's what this is about. So anybody sitting on this call, here's what I'm going to say to you in closing. Don't get too caught up in the technical layer. Ask yourself, what is this going to empower? How is this going to allow me to get more out of my sales team than I can get today? How is this going to allow me to deliver greater value to my prospects and buyers than they're getting today? How is this going to improve the overall selling motion and process within my sales organization to achieve the objectives that we've set? That's what this is about. This is about business. And that's what you should be focused on. Start there and then work your way back, and let the technical only be the steps that allow you to get to the business outcomes and the business goals. All right? So that's my piece on this. I hope it was helpful, guys. Just remember, it's all about the data, and it's all about the fundamental different layers of the data, from just the cold data to the emotion to the tone, all the way down. All right? So with that, I will turn it over.
Yep, thank you very much, Jim, for the presentation. Hello, everyone. And let me check, how can I share the screen? Just a sec.
Stop. Oh, do you get it?
Yeah, you shall be seeing my screen right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, hello, everyone, once again. And thank you, Jim. Thank you, Keenan. Today, I will tell you about the advantages of telephony integrated with CRM system and how you can expand your business to new markets with this solution. We will see how telephony can be easily integrated with Zoho CRM, and we'll check out the features of the integration. Also, I will show some of our website widgets and recently introduced call tracking service. I guess every one of you can imagine telephony that is not integrated with CRM system, but a CRM system that does not have a telephony, that is something rarely seen in the modern world. So what are the benefits of such integration? Firstly, your customers are much more satisfied when their call is forwarded to responsible manager, and there is no need to explain all over again, and manager knows the calling customer and can easily go on with the conversation. The second point is when the telephony is integrated with CRM, you don't need to manage two separate systems. All call statistics along with call recordings are available directly from the interface of the CRM system. And like Keenan said, and like every one of you knows, how important call recordings are in resolving disagreements with clients and in teaching your managers, your salespersons. Speaking of Zadarma, we provide integration with Zoho CRM free of charge. You only pay for virtual numbers and outgoing calls. Let's talk about international numbers. Having a virtual number, for example, a London one, gives you the opportunity to enter United Kingdom market, and your customers there will be calling you on a local phone number. The same virtual number will be shown when you call your customers in United Kingdom. In other words, nowadays it doesn't really matter where your company is based, as long as you have an internet connection. With virtual phone numbers, you can explore new markets and seamlessly integrate the new customers in your existing CRM system. Zadarma offers numbers in more than 90 countries, and the majority of them have a $2 monthly fee. Now let's see at the example of the integration of Zadarma business phone system with Zoho CRM. People who are unfamiliar with telephony sometimes imagine that only a telecom wizard is capable of integrating this phone system with a CRM. They will be surprised to discover that there is no need for any advanced skills. The process requires just several straightforward steps, and it takes just a few minutes. No need for any special computer or telecom knowledge or major investment of time and energy. So at the first step of the integration, assuming that you are a registered user of both Zadarma and Zoho, you need to generate API keys and click Activate Integration. After that, you link your existing Zoho CRM users, your salespersons, with extensions of the phone system. At any moment, you can add more extensions and make the corresponding assignments. Once that is done, it is time to make your first call from Zoho CRM, and it will go directly via Zadarma telephony. Just click on the green phone button near the desired contact. Also, let's look at several useful features of the integration. For every call you receive, there will be a pop-up window. You can see that window on the left-hand side of your screen. This pop-up window contains the information about the customer, and also there's a field where you can make notes during the call. Armed with this information, the manager can offer the customer a personalized service that is based on clear record of their previous interactions. There will be an option to add a contact if one is calling you for the first time. Also, there is a possibility to create a delayed call. Let's say customer cannot talk at the moment. You create a delayed call, and in designated time, you will see a reminder to call that customer. Moreover, you can create a task or even an event based on the current call. Now let's have a look at some additional services that we provide. A lot of our clients were asking whether we have the call tracking service. So now we do. We provide static and dynamic call tracking. Both are a really powerful tool to evaluate the effectiveness of advertising channels. On the screen, you can see call tracking statistics that you will have once the tracker is set. At this screen, we are looking at some of call tracking settings. You can specify several websites, set working hours, integrate with Google Analytics, and make other required adjustments. Another widget, a callback widget, is a really powerful tool to gather more clients. For example, the website visitor is searching for a product or a service on your website. He looks through the pages and maybe decides to leave. And in this exact moment, the Zadarma system identifies the visitor's irregular behavior and displays the callback widget with an offer to connect him with one of your sales manager in 20 seconds. You can also use your own CSS styles to modify the appearance of the widget or make the widget to be opened from your custom button. Another widget, the Call Us one. It is a convenient and effective tool for communicating with website visitors. Customers no longer need to take a phone to call you. Now they can do it with a single click from your website. And from now on, it is based on a WebRTC technology. So no worries whether it will display or not on the website that is viewed from the mobile device. It will. And the Call Us widget is completely free both for the website owner and for the visitor. And to wrap up today's quick presentation, every webinar attendee will receive a promo code that will allow you to use the Zadarma Business Phone system integrated with Zoho CRM for 30 days free of charge. There are two separate codes. One is for activation of Office United States and Canada bundle, which has unlimited calls to United States and Canada numbers and 500 minutes for calls to European countries. And another one is for Office Europe bundle, which has 2,000 minutes for calls to European mobile and landline numbers. You can choose one of them and enter it in your personal area within 24 hours starting from now. And on the screen, you can see the steps needed to benefit from the offer. So now it is time for your questions. I will try to answer as many as possible of them, but in case you have more after the presentation, feel free to contact our support team by email, and Zoho-related questions can be addressed directly to Zoho support team. Thank you for listening.
Any questions, peeps? Got awfully quiet in here. I don't do quiet well.
Yeah, you can ask your questions in the question section of the webinar.
Oh, there's a bunch. Oh, see, I wish someone had told me this earlier. Sorry, guys. I'll show you a screen with the slide next counting down. Sorry. Someone was having sound problems. Francis, cutting in and out. Sorry. So a quick question, Lisa Schubel. So quick question is this a sales coaching session or learning about how we can best to use our CRM? I'm confused. Well, I think it was a little bit of both. Hope we got some help, Lisa. Do you have an automatic dialer? I think that one's for you. From Susan Stone.
Okay, Daniele, if I'm saying that right, we're asking for prices for Zadarma service. Well, basically, once you are using Zadarma, you just pay for outgoing calls and you pay for virtual numbers. And a United Kingdom number is something like 1.6 euros per month. And well, you can see the prices on our website and all widgets, integrations, we provide that for free.
Okay, Susan Stone asks, do you have an automatic dialer?
No, at the moment we don't have an automatic dialer. So, well, this feature is not implemented. Well, basically, we have within the personal area, there is no automatic dialer. But if you use our API, we have an open API, you can set an automatic dialer.
Okay, all right. There's a question here from William Clevenger. He says, I have VoIP now with unlimited calling time. Can Zadarma meet that need?
Well, yes, like I said, our price bundle, Office United States and Canada, has completely unlimited calls to United States and Canada numbers. So might be something that he is looking for. Well, I can see another question from Vitali. Can you report existing local number? Yes, you can port your existing local number to Zadarma and it is free of charge.
Okay. It says here, here's one from Ronaldo. I've used Ring Central and find it interferes with Zoho and the Ring Central app, Windows desktop. So I have delinked Ring Central. Do you have similar issues?
Once again, I don't see the question.
It's by Ronaldo, and it says, I've used Ring Central and find it interferes with Zoho and the Ring Central app. So I have delinked Ring Central. Do you have similar issues?
No, we don't have similar issues. No problem when using Zadarma integrated in Zoho CRM.
Okay. Hello, question from Dimitri Longo from France. How do you manage if I have already an SIP number, OVH?
Like just a sec, let me find it. An SIP number. Well, I suppose that he's talking about the SIP number from other provider. So you can either port the number to our system, or you can connect a number from another provider if it support call forwarding by internet. The majority of SIP providers provide that support.
Well, okay, and I think the last one I think is, will the auto dialer within Zoho work with Zadarma?
Well, I don't see the question. Just a sec. A little confused with the questions.
Yeah, from William Clevenger, one up from the bottom. Will the auto dialer within Zoho work with Zadarma?
Yeah, sure. Once you integrate, Well, basically, the Zoho CRM is integrated with Zadarma by using API. So if it will work and the call will go by via Zadarma, no problem here.
Okay. I think there's one last one. Let's
Yep.
come in. A couple more. They're all from Dimitri. No, one's from Dimitri, one's from Daniel. Daniel says, okay, I'm using Ring Central at the moment. We have 2 call queues, one for office hours and one for out of office hours. Can we do this in Zadarma?
Yeah, sure. This is like our basic feature. You can set working hours and you can set the queue. We call them scenarios. So you can have groups of employees that are answering calls at their working hours. No problem here.
All right, good. I think that's it for the questions. Oh, wait, we got another one.
Yep.
If we already have Skype, will Zoho integrate with Zoho? I'm not quite sure I understand that question.
Me neither.
Okay. Then I think we have time for one more. Does this work on all versions of Zoho CRM?
No, well, except the free one. All other versions are supported.
Okay. I think that's good.
Yeah. Um, I guess that we're not receiving. Well, okay. Once again, if your question was not answered during the webinar, you can always write an email at the email that is, well, all attendees will receive the slide deck of the presentation, and there is an email you can send questions to.
Yeah. Thank you, Jan. And thank you, Keenan, for that insightful presentation. And to the audience, I thank you all for attending this webinar. And yes, as Jan said, we'll be sending out a recording of this webinar very soon, uh, hopefully by Monday, so you can catch up on things that you missed. So thank you and have a nice day. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.